Good morning. Grace and peace be with you. This morning we have a story about a shepherd boy by the name of David. And you can see David, he takes care of sheep all the time. That's his job in his family. He has 7 older brothers and he is the youngest one. And one day his dad came to him and he said, "David, I need you to go check on your brothers," because his brothers were fighting with King Saul's army, and they were fighting the Philistines. And Samuel was very worried about his sons, and he also wanted David to take him some food. So David said, "Sure, Dad, I'll go do that." So David went to where the King Saul's army was, and he saw that his brothers were fine, and he gave them some food. And all of a sudden, he heard this noise, this yelling, and he looked up, and here was this huge man who was fighting for the Philistines. And everybody said, "That's Goliath." And he was yelling, "Hey, somebody come fight me, fight me." Well, all the Israelites were really afraid of him because he's huge. He's 9 feet tall, and he had this huge sword. And it was really, really scary. He was a bully, and he was teasing them. He said, "You can't beat me." He said, "If you do beat me, then I'll leave. Then we'll leave, and you'll win the war. But if I win, you'll all be our prisoners." Well, all of the other Israeli soldiers were really frightened, and they said, "We don't want to go there." But David, he knew that God would be with him. So he talked to King Saul, and he said, "King Saul, I can fight that man." King Saul said, "Whoa," he said, "you're just a boy." But David said, "I know that God will be with me, and he will take care of me." So Saul said, "Well, all right." So he gave David some armor and a big helmet and a big sword, and he said, "Now you can go fight with them." And David said, "No, no." So he took it all off. He took off the helmet and the armor, and he threw down this sword. He said, "I am going to use my slingshot, which is what I use to protect all my sheep from all the wild creatures that are around." So King Saul said, "Okay, whatever you think." So David bent down and he picked up 5 smooth stones, and he put them in his slingshot, and he swung that slingshot around, then snapped it off, and the rock hit Goliath right in the forehead. And Goliath kind of swerved around a little bit, and then he fell down dead. David had defeated him. And why had David been able to defeat defeat Goliath? You're right. It's because God was with David all the time. And David believed in God, and David loved God, so God protected him. Let's say a prayer. Dear God, please take care of us when we face difficult and scary things. We know that you took care of your David, and we want you to take care of us too. We believe in you and love you too. Amen. So if you come to Sunday school this week, I've got some stones. If you would like to paint them like the stones that David found when he was going to defeat Goliath, you could come to church and do that. Or you can do that easily at home if you have paints, and you can go outside and find some rocks. Also, I have kind of a fun thing for you to do for Halloween. Some of you may have done this before. What you're going to do is take a solo cup and drill a hole in the bottom and then put some string in it. And then if you wet the string, you can have a really scary Halloween sound. And that's just kind of a fun thing to do for Halloween. So hope to see you on Sunday. If not, I'll see you next week. Bye.